welcome to the Quiet Your Inner Mean Girl podcast, a place for you to find the courage you need to take the first step and every step thereafter to create the habits, the confidence, and the life that you love. I'm your host, health and life coach, Abby Hegney. Let's dive in. Welcome back to episode 66. Today, we are talking all about when you quote unquote don't feel like it. And my gosh, have I been in this story lately? I don't feel like getting out of bed in the morning to do that workout that I had planned. I don't feel like going out as we had scheduled. I don't feel like making dinner. I don't feel like recording this podcast. So many things that I actually want to be doing, things that I enjoy doing, have been met with the story, I don't feel like it. And I have found myself putting blame on outside circumstances. It's the weather, it's the back to school transition, it's getting back into a routine after summer, it's figuring out our new schedules. All of these things have become the reason that I don't feel like it. But the truth is, me not feeling like doing any of these things is not because of the weather or the transition back to school or new routines or our change in schedule. They may make it harder, but the only reason I don't feel like doing any of these things is because of the drama I create in my own mind. I don't feel like it is one of the most detrimental stories of your inner mean girl. And it's so common. Think about how often you tell yourself, I don't feel like it. And the ironic thing is that most often we say, I don't feel like it when it comes to decisions we made in advance, things that we actually want to be doing. You decide that you're going to get up early and work out, or you plan to make dinner or go out with friends, something that you wanted to do, something you believed you would enjoy, or you believed would make you feel good. But then when the time comes to do it, your inner me girl feeds you the I don't feel like it story. You believe it because it feels true. And you talk yourself out of whatever it is that you had planned to do, whatever it is that you wanted to do. But most days, you won't feel like doing it. Telling yourself, I don't feel like it, and using that as the reason you don't will feel okay. It will feel normal. It may even feel like you are honoring yourself, giving yourself grace, having compassion. And I talk a lot about honoring yourself and having grace and compassion in your journey. It does play an important role in developing motivation and momentum. But there's a difference between having compassion and grace and honoring yourself and what you truly need, such as rest when your body is fatigued or you didn't sleep well or you're just not feeling well, and doing it in a way that coddles yourself within your comfort zone, that keeps you from doing the things that you want to be doing and moving yourself closer to your goals, to creating healthier habits and losing the weight that you want to lose. And that is what we're going to be talking about today. There will be days when you really don't feel like doing it. Again, days when you're sick, days when you didn't sleep well, days when your body is just feeling run down. There will also be times that you changed your mind. You are allowed to change your mind. You can decide that you want to do something and then later decide that it's not actually what you wanted at all. It's empowering to acknowledge your body and know that you are physically emotionally or mentally really not up for it on any given day. Or see that you thought you wanted something and it turns out that it's not what you wanted. And when you see it all the way through and can see that that story of I don't feel like it is the best decision that you can make, it's not only the thing that you don't feel like doing, but it's the thing that will make you feel the best. Making that decision feels really good. It feels empowering. It builds your confidence knowing that you are honoring what you really need. You're listening to your body. You're giving your body what it needs. But there will be way more days when your inner mean girl offers you the story, I don't feel like it, and that only feels good in the moment. That is the coddling. Showing up when you don't feel like it because you can see what lies beyond that story will quiet your inner mean girl and create more motivation than the days where you are feeling great and inspired ever will. So let's start with why we tell ourselves, I don't feel like it. I have been thinking a lot about this, especially because it has been top of mind for me this week. And I think there are eight main reasons why we fall into the I don't feel like it trap. And I say all of these without any judgment. The story of I don't feel like it is so very common. My clients and I coach on this all of the time. I hear women saying it all of the time across so many areas of their lives. And as I mentioned, I have been in this place myself lately. So I want to give you these reasons so that you can start to recognize them for yourself. The more awareness you can bring as to why you tell yourself that you don't feel like it, the more empowered you will feel to change it. The quicker that you will catch these stories and the quicker you will move yourself through them. And the more that you can do that, the more momentum and motivation you will create. So, the eight reasons that I believe, based on my own experience and the experience I have gained from coaching over 100 women on their weight loss journey, are it feels hard, it feels overwhelming, or you feel overwhelmed, you're comfortable, or seeking comfort, you're being complacent or telling yourself, I don't feel like it simply feels like the easier choice. You're unsure. Maybe you're unsure of what to do or how to do it, or you're unsure that it's going to work. You're doubtful. You're tired. Or it's just something new. When you tell yourself, I don't feel like it, from any of these places, not from honoring your body and giving your body or your mind or yourself what it truly needs, but because it feels hard or overwhelming, because you are seeking comfort or you're unsure, what tends to happen is you pull back. You procrastinate. And my gosh, did I find myself procrastinating this week? I'd find myself just scrolling on my phone. I'm like, what am I doing? But that's just it. It's easier to scroll on my phone than to sit down and plan out this episode. It was more comfortable to snooze my alarm than to get out of bed when I decided that I had wanted to get up. It's easier to tell yourself, I don't know what to do or I don't know what I'm doing than to decide I'm willing to figure this out. Pulling back, procrastinating, not doing the things that you want to be doing because you don't feel like it creates a disconnect between the things that you do and the things that you want. You revert back to old patterns, patterns that keep you stuck that make it feel harder and more overwhelming, more confusing, patterns that create more doubt and complacency from a place of comfort. When you think about losing weight and creating habits and doing both in a way that lasts, we want to create alignment between what you do and what you want. And let me be very clear, this doesn't mean that it will feel easy. There are going to be days when it feels hard, days when you tell yourself, I don't feel like it. But how you show up on those days matters. I tell my clients all of the time, when you can show up in even the smallest of ways on the days that you don't feel like it, that has a huge impact on what you believe about yourself, what is possible, and what you are capable of. It builds your capacity to handle the days that feel hard, that feel challenging, the days where you tell yourself, I don't feel like it. It builds your confidence. And when your confidence builds, your motivation builds. And when your motivation builds, your momentum builds. But it does require you to see beyond the moment when you tell yourself, I don't feel like it. What if you met that moment of, I don't feel like it, with, of course, I don't feel like it, but how will it make me feel? Think about that. You're not arguing with the fact that you don't feel like it, but you are exploring whether that is true. How you will feel when you do it is way more impactful than how you feel in that very moment. 90 plus percent of the time, and that is not a factual statistic, but I truly believe that 90 plus percent of the time, you will not feel like doing it. And I say this because your brain runs on efficiency. Your brain naturally seeks the most efficient way of doing something. And the most efficient way of doing something is doing what you already are doing, falling into the same patterns that you have been in. And when you want to create change in your life, it requires you to step out of that pattern. If you fall into the I don't feel like it trap 90 plus percent of the time, what does that mean for your goals? What does that mean for the habits that you want to create, the weight that you want to lose, the confidence that you want to build? If you have been falling into this trap 90 plus percent of the time, it is no wonder that it feels so hard. It may not always feel easy. Actually, I can promise you, it's not always going to feel easy. But you want to give yourself the opportunity to see how good it can feel. If you can give yourself the opportunity, if you can see beyond the I don't feel like it moment and move yourself through that, it will get easier. The more you give yourself the opportunity, the more you show up in alignment with what you want, the more practiced that becomes. The only reason it's so easy to believe that you don't feel like it and to talk yourself out of it right now is because that is the muscle that is the most practiced muscle. It's comfortable, it's safe, but it's also complacent and much, much harder in the long run because it keeps you from what you really want, from feeling good, from feeling proud, from building your confidence and creating motivation and momentum, from creating the habits that you want to create, from losing the weight that you want to lose, from feeling more comfortable in your own skin. But that's all available to you when you break free from the I don't feel like it trap. So, how do we get out of it? I think first and foremost, you have to be willing to go through it and go through it as many times as you need to. Oftentimes, we just want to be there. We just want to not think, I don't feel like it anymore, and to do the things that we know we want to do. But when I don't feel like it is your most practiced, comfortable thought, it's going to come up a lot. That's not a problem if you are willing to allow it to come up and you are willing to move through it as many times as you need to until it comes up less and less and then eventually shows up just once in a while. And yes, that is possible. I promise you that it is possible that I don't feel like it only comes up once in a while. But it does take the willingness to face it and to move through it over and over again, as many times as you need to. It's like a toddler and a hot stove. I give this example to my clients a lot. If you had a toddler and they insisted on trying to touch a hot stove, you would redirect them away from that hot stove as many times as you needed to until they realized, oh, I shouldn't do that. It's better over here. That's how you move through and eventually get yourself out of the I don't feel like it trap. You quiet that story of your inner mean girl. You hear it and you don't fall victim to it. You redirect your brain. And every time you do that, you rewire the pattern in which you are used to. As you think about doing this, I think there are three important questions that you want to explore for yourself. Questions that will help you to determine what it is you actually need and want. Because again, there will be days that it is better to not do the thing that you had planned to do. There will be days when you realized you changed your mind and changing your mind was the best decision you could make. Those are the days that not doing the thing that you said you were going to do, the thing that you don't feel like doing, will feel good in the moment and beyond. So let's explore the three questions that I think are really helpful for you to ask yourself when you're telling yourself, I don't feel like it. First and foremost, you want to ask yourself, how do I want to feel? You may not feel like doing it in that moment because you are tired, or maybe you've had a bad day and you're stressed or annoyed or you're frustrated, and it can be very easy to get caught up in how you feel in that moment and make decisions from that place. But one of the most empowering and impactful things you can do, especially when it comes to creating healthier habits and losing weight, is to think about how you want to feel. Maybe you want to feel proud or accomplished. Maybe it's confident or motivated or happier. You want to connect with that feeling. And once you know that, once you know how you want to feel, then you want to ask yourself, will doing this, the thing that you're telling yourself, I don't feel like doing, will doing this make me feel the way that I want to feel? This is where you want to be really honest with yourself and catch if you are sliding into coddling. It can be really easy to think, I'm so tired, I don't feel like it, and believe that sitting on the couch and watching Netflix will make you feel better. And sometimes that will absolutely be the case. But what I have found is that most days that leads to guilt or frustration or feeling disappointed that we didn't honor what we really wanted to be doing. That's where women get into this belief that it's so hard, that they can't stick with anything, that they can't be consistent. They don't know what to do or how to do it, or they know what to do and they don't know why they're not doing it. Some days when we feel tired, what we actually need to do is something that brings us energy. Connecting with how you want to feel and honestly exploring, If doing the thing you don't feel like doing will help you to feel that way, will help you to make the best decision for you. And if that best decision is to sit on the couch and rest your body or not cook the dinner that you had planned to cook, you can release any guilt or frustration that would normally creep in because you made the decision with intention. The third question you want to ask yourself is there anything else I can do that would make me feel the way that I want to feel? This opens you up to explore options and to decide what is best for you. It helps to move you out of an all or nothing mindset or the mindset of I should do, have to do, need to do this thing. It creates flexibility and it creates space for you to find what works for you and your life. You may find that you really don't feel like doing what you said that you were going to do, but there is this other thing that would make you feel just as good. And that feels like a better option for you. For example, just this morning, my alarm went off and my body felt physically tired. I felt sore from previous workouts this week, and my first thought was, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like getting up. I don't feel like working out. I don't feel like doing the workout I had planned. I could have gone back to bed. I could have not gotten up, or I could have skipped the workout completely. And there are days when I do that, and that feels like the best decision for me. But today, from running through these exact same questions, I knew that getting up and moving my body would make me feel better than staying in bed and maybe being able to get back to sleep, or like that weird half sleep that we often get into after we snooze our alarm. But it didn't feel good to do the workout that I had planned. I thought about it and I was like, I know I'm going to dread it all the way through. So instead, I chose to do a yoga class. I gave myself an option. Doing the workout that I had planned wouldn't have felt good for me today, but instead of pushing through and hating every second of it, or not doing it at all, I found what would make me feel good, and I chose to do that instead. And I am going to add like a sneaky fourth question that you can ask yourself here, because there will be days when it feels extra hard. Days when your motivation or your energy is extra low, but you know that doing something will make you feel so much better. On those days, ask yourself, what is the bare minimum that I can do that will make me feel proud, or whatever feeling it is that you know you're seeking? Allow that to be enough for today. And I know that may feel really hard, especially for those of us that get caught up in an all or nothing mindset, or those of us that are perfectionist. But on the days when it feels that extra hard, sometimes the bare minimum is giving 100%. Sometimes doing the bare minimum is perfection. It is more than enough. And you want to allow that in. You want to quiet that voice of your inner mean girl and be proud that you showed up and gave something. Give yourself that option. You may find that it was more than enough. You may also find that it was exactly what you needed and you find yourself craving more. This is quieting your inner mean girl. This is moving through and getting out of the I don't feel like it trap. And it's a game changer. If you find yourself stuck in this I don't feel like it trap, this is your invitation. Schedule your free consultation. Let's discuss quieting your inner mean girl and creating a plan that works with your life and allows you to create habits that last and lose weight for good. You can find the link to schedule your free consultation in the show notes. Go there now, schedule it. Let's talk, and I will be back next week. If you are loving this podcast, please subscribe, rate, or review. Or if you know someone who would benefit from this message, please share it with them. And if you are ready to quiet your inner mean girl, to create habits that make you feel amazing, to lose weight and confidently keep it off while living the life that you love, I invite you to schedule your complimentary 60-minute consultation. We'll discuss where you are, where you want to be, and how my Quiet Your Inner Mean Girl method can help you create the future that you want. You can find the link to book your call in the show notes, or you can also connect with me directly on Instagram at Wellness with Abby H. I can't wait to talk to you.